minimalism, maximalism. What am I supposed to believe in? What's the difference? What's the big deal? Let's learn. Should I be a minimalist or a maximalist? Because I'd say I'm a big fan of minimalism. I've been a big fan of minimalism for a long time. But what if I'm wrong? What's the deal with maximalists?
Hello, I'm a maximalist. And the general rule of thumb is more is more.
Yeah.
I live a minimalist lifestyle. Is it too echoey?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's so empty.
Yeah, it's an audio thing.
I think they're missing something in their
Oh,
lives.
man.
Beige or white rooms. And how boring is that?
That's a fair point, my lord. This guy's winning me over. He's cool.
The eye has to travel. Personally, I want to live within a jewel box and live within drama.
I quite enjoy minimalism, particularly with art. I'm a big fan of minimalism because I feel the reason why is that I genuinely feel that the best kind of minimalism is something that does a lot with just a little. And I think I developed that partly because of my shoulder injury where I couldn't really draw for a long time. So I could only draw for like short amounts of time. So I had to think a bit about like, well, if I only have like a short amount of time to draw, what can I do with that time? And I cannot do these big paintings that will take like months. So I had to settle with making like very minor things that are like not very time consuming. And I found a lot of enjoyment in that. And that's sort of like how my interest grew into like minimalist art and graphic design and that kind of stuff. It came out of my shoulder injury and sort of like adapting to that. But this guy has already won me over in like 30 seconds. This guy has been like, yeah, if you're a minimalist, you're a loser. And it's so much more exciting to be a maximalist. All right, let's see the counter arguments and all that.
This chandelier is just all out of proportion. You kind of feel
That, yeah,
like
I
Alice
love
in
that.
Wonderland.
I love that.
It's fun. It's unexpected.
If you have to switch apartments, though, then what do? You're just gonna have to bring all of this with you? That's a lot.
The height of misery is to have one light bulb in the ceiling, and that's it. It's like, that's
cozy.
the best you can do. It's hideous.
Yeah. I still don't fit. There's nothing wrong with this, though, you know. Actually, what's going on with your bed, though? I feel like that is taking it to too much of an extreme, you know? Like, what are you keeping in your drawers that's more important than keeping a bed? There's nothing you can have in a drawer that's more important than a good night's sleep.
It's an original Japanese futon.
Right, yeah, it's a
An
futon.
adjustment sleeping on the floor, but this is something I can pick up and go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to disparage any Japanese people who sleep on futons, but is that comfortable? I've never slept on a futon, so I guess I can't really argue for that. I'm willing to try it out, but how comfortable could it be?
The less stuff, the more freedom, in a sense, for me.
I just want to enjoy life in general.
Actually, that's freaking sick.
I guess I am into materialism. We worship at the altar of materialism. They worship at the altar of minimalism. I don't think either are necessarily probably a good thing. You have to find that balance.
It's a whole philosophy. These are
I hate this. Sorry, I would just like to say something. I love minimalism, alright? I appreciate it. I like it a lot. I was so into this whole Spark Joy thing for a while when it first became popular. I was like, yeah, Spark Joy. Wow, I should attribute that to my stuff. And I ended up throwing a lot of stuff out that at the time did not spark joy, but like then looking back over the years, I've been like, oh my god, why did I throw that away? It did not spark joy at the time, but then later I was like, oh my god, I wish I had that. Why did I throw it out? Because it didn't quote unquote spark joy. I wish I could have read that book or like kept that one thing. Would have been like such a nice memory and all that. So I have my own sort of like I don't know. I enjoy minimalism, but I have my own rivalry with Marie Kondo.
So she devises the KonMari method in this book.
Keep only the things that speak to your heart. By doing this, you can reset your life and embark on a new lifestyle. I guess it worked that way, but also wish... I feel like I also learned a lesson from doing that. Like, don't do that. That's the lesson I learned.
Come in and help
That's
me
my new
because-
life.
And I was so impressed with the concept of the joy. These I instantly can say thank you shoes.
That's a lot of shoes, though. I've never owned that many shoes in my entire life.
I think people are tired of beige rooms. A
Mm,
lot
yeah.
of things bring me joy.
Pretty.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice. This guy has really, really good taste. I love this guy.
To help me declutter. I mean, what's the point? No. Then I wouldn't be living my authentic self.
I don't know. I guess to bear doesn't exist for me.
Alright. I gotta say, I think maximalism is pretty cool. And I get the feeling that, like, what separates a hoarder from a maximalist is that, like, a maximalist would be able to, like, organize things. And I think that's something that's, like, the difference between hoarding, maximalism, and minimalism and throwing too much away, right? Like, maximalism and minimalism, if you watch these two people, are kind of doing the same thing in a way, or at least they're aspiring to do the same thing, right? It's all about organization. In that sense, maximalism and minimalism, it's kind of the same thing, right? It's not really that different. It's just about a preference. It's an aesthetic. It's also, if you can afford it. I don't know if I can afford to be a maximalist. You get into you look into this girl's house, and yeah, it's like, it's not hoarder level, but it's unorganized, and that makes it look weird compared to a maximalist or a minimalist. And that's literally it. It's unorganization. That's what we should be fighting. Alright, I'm ready to embrace maximalism, I feel like, now. I don't know if I could do that with my art, though. Maybe that would be interesting to explore. Minimalism has dominated the world of interior design and fashion. That's nice. I mean, it's... Maximalism, a layered decor style packed with disparate elements, is making a comeback. This is from 2017, so I don't know. Experts advise using bold colors and shocking patterns to successfully overfill a room. Man, it's so much money. Apply a mix of patterns to sofas, they say, and do the same with walls. Well, always add flowers, but not a manicured bouquet. Go for a wild bunch. No, this is not cool maximalism. This has really thrown off the idea of, like, oh yeah, maximalism, I could get into that. Wall Street Journal, you made it look really lame.
Minimalism. For some people, minimalism just means not owning any stuff. It's a lifestyle choice. It means owning few possessions, living in largely empty space, and even eating minimalist food. In fact, minimalism is a philosophy with roots and branches in many places.
I think that's what annoys me about minimalism, the whole, like, philosophy aspect to it. This is where you're, like, throwing me off. Like, are there maximalists who treat it as a cult? And who are, like, trying to get people into the cult of maximalism? I haven't seen that. And can you do that with maximalism? I don't know.
To quote the minimalist painter Frank Stella, what you see is what you see. This isn't art that copies something real, a person's face, a nice horse, or tries to depict a feeling. A minimalist art object is itself and nothing else.
I think this is not quite right. I think...
Minimalist architecture,
oh well.
Minimalist gurus like Marie Kondo believe in decluttering, but say it's not about knowing what to throw out, it's knowing what to keep. A lot of minimalism can appear harsh and inhuman.
I think maybe I was wrong to blame Marie Kondo, though, in retrospect, because it's like, throwing out stuff you have to learn. You know, you have to make mistakes to know in the future what not to throw away. Maybe I had to throw that away in the grand scale of things, to know what else not to throw away. Huh. How about that?
Minimalism
I don't even think I enjoy minimalist music all that much.
And loud world around us.
But I don't enjoy maximalist music that much, I don't know. Because the thing is, I don't enjoy music that's minimalist or maximalist. I enjoy music that has a good structure to it. And that's the same thing we're talking about, you know. Are you able to organize things? Yeah, I would say I enjoy minimalism. And To my surprise, I quite enjoy Maximalism too. I want to learn more about what that guy was up to. I wish I knew. I came into this with the idea of like maximalism, minimalism. Which one will win? They're both the same thing. It's just organization. Can you organize? And how do you want to organize? So yeah, I like organization over disorganization. I guess that's the real victor here. Organization wins. Bye. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.